Lance Hilbert. Absolutely crap. Exactly. Nest collecting is like a mainstream thing to do. I sold my Nest collection long ago before it was mainstream. Now I won't buy anything back Nest or even a Mini. I enjoy a few Nest games, but when I think Nest collecting, I think Pat the Nest Punk, Hancock, and all these people. I don't want to be in the same group as them or Game Chasers. Give me a break here. Genesis collecting have done for years, when all these other yahoos said there's nothing good on Genesis. Good, yep, it's crap, stay away, it sucks. Back. Then that backfired, and they're getting their hands all over that slowly. Too late for that. They ruined Genesis as well. Thankfully, I got my Saturn games I wanted. Not many of these YouTube features those games. They have some, just not all. Lastly, the Neo Geo. The other system that I will buy for when I'm able to. That's gained some attention, prices reflect, but I'm positive people find out the truth to the AES after purchasing one. They buy the now stock AES, which has gone up from $200. It wasn't like '06 to $400 now, no box, one controller. Oh, Japanese only. A USA AES double in price. My sort of friend or guy I deal with, me, has a small channel named Neo Geno. He bought a full NES set, and the gray NWC cart has almost everything. Also sells at cons. Well, it makes me sick to think that a convention these collectors pay him $600 for an unmodded AES. He also claims he sells a game like Streets of Rage 2 for Genesis, complete in box, there, $80. Wow. I don't understand who would throw extra money at something for no reason. SOR2 all day, $40, or less. I know, bought 5 complete in box copies over time. Anyways, then you look at the games for Neo Geo, very few AES games are $50 to $100 anymore. There's almost about 5 off the top of my head. I assume they would purchase the machine and a few games, then one and keep what little they have obtained. Sell it off because it's too much. Or 3, buy a converter and play MVS, or there's now a multicart and the Neo SD for the AES. Both are not cheap, though. MVS multicart is dirt cheap but barely works. Anyhow, at the end of the day, I won't buy a NES because YouTubers like MGR and Pat Hancock ruined it for me. They went for all machines, but the most affected I noticed is watching before even YouTube was in existence until today is NES and SNES. Well, a lot of truth there. I remember some people actually did say that about the Genesis. You know, back when everybody's really big on the NES and NES collecting. I think sometimes, though, it was a lot of these channels that were which is now kind of old hat, which is the NES versus Genesis, Nintendo versus Genesis thing. A lot of channels are moving away from the Nintendo versus Genesis, Nintendo versus Sega, and that makes sense to me because, well, Sega hasn't really had a console in a long time. So when I would see these retro channels do this whole, I'm Nintendo, I'm Sega, I'm like, well, obviously Nintendo won, obviously. So as I say that, there's probably, still a lot around and everything, but I just think that kind of thing needs to kind of die out because at this point it's kind of overdone and lame. But, if I were going to, collecting, the last thing I would probably collect for is the NES, for a reason like you said. Not only is it incredibly expensive at this point, but the thing is, there's so many people that have NES collections. So many people are collecting NES. For me, the thing about collecting is I like collecting things not necessarily maybe that have a high monetary value, but things that are interesting, that are maybe conversation pieces. I would much rather collect some things that hardly anyone sees. And yeah, the Neo Geo, I wouldn't even touch that thing. Man, oh man. The prices on that have just and I understand, of all the systems, Neo Geo, a lot of people are diehard Neo Geo fans. They love that. But, when you're talking about, how much the carts are, like $200-$300 a cart. Again, I understand the Neo Geo, and I would much rather have a Neo Geo other than a NES because, like I said before, most of the NES games to me are just crap.